Okay, good afternoon or good morning, good evening, depending on when you listen to this training. Okay, in the last screencast, we stopped here where we're trying to acquire a domain name. So we say you fill up all of these details, and if you're paying with Paystack, you complete the order, or you pay through back transfers. So when you do that, automatically you should have your cPanel details sent to your email, and you have something like this. You see, for this particular order, I was trying to purchase, I think, projectresearch.com, but I found that I have a very freshly purchased domain name that I purchased like 2 days ago that I've not built. So I want to use it to demonstrate all of the things we're going to be doing in class. Okay, just a moment. I'll tell you once you have your cPanel details, what it looks like and how to log into it. So this is what my cPanel looks like. So once you purchase the domain name, you get this kind of thing sent to your email, or you request that from your host. So this is doolydasslimited.com, HNI. So this is the URL. This is the cPanel username. This is the password, right? Right. So the question is, if you purchase a domain name and hosting account, how do you access your cPanel? So your cPanel is your, you can call it cPanel, you can call it your control panel. So you access your cPanel using this /cPanel. That's how you access it. And your email, or at times we call it webmail, how do you access it? /webmail, right? So for now, we have our cPanel already sent to us by our hosting company automatically, or you could request for it after you've made purchase. Now you have something like this. So any of us, if you want to purchase a domain and hosting account, you could use South Tech Hosting, or you could contact me. You could easily set up that by yourself, or you could use any hosting service that you love. The good thing about if you use our services, of course, so via WhatsApp, you could get support, you could get all of those benefits that comes with training you and also helping you out. And for instance, if you decide and say, okay, of course, there are several career aspects of designing website. I want to resell domain name, I want to resell hosting accounts. I liken this to what we call the recharge card business, or the VAS services. That is value added services. So it's for instance, if you purchase a domain name for like $10, you could resell for like 11, 12, just less than $400-500 as per profit. So your profit doesn't come actually from you buying and reselling domain names. Rather, it comes from you actually building the website, right? But the one reason why most persons want to now start going into reselling domain names is that if you grow a little bit big and you are now an agency, you have tens and hundreds of domain names into your care. So to make sense to buy a server so that you have everything in one place, so that you can actually provide good support to all of your clients and the rest. That's why sometime in 2010, we moved on to start having our own servers and providing resale services to our clients. So there's no big deal about you selling domain names and whatever. For instance, you make more cash as a designer, as a developer, you actually building a website than you just setting up domain name and hosting accounts. You can even allow the client to set up that, or a client can even buy that himself. You take up that login details and you develop and build your application. Okay, let's assume I have this now. So all I need to do is say, and when you purchase a domain name, you're going to have something like this. At times you can see a basic, the website owner is trying to build something, just a default empty page. So if you need to go to your cPanel, you do something like this. So I'll put this in and also put this password. So this will bring you to what your cPanel looks like. Earlier on in the course, I wanted us to use XAMPP or WAMP or LAMP to do our local host development, but I want to buy up more time. So most of the things we've done in Bootstrap, we're going to be pushing everything live to a live server. So instead of us trying to build on local hosts and not trying to migrate and push everything online. So we'll skip that step. For our Bootstrap site, we could build it locally. Then for our WordPress site, our e-commerce site, our blog site, we just install everything online. Our WordPress, install everything online, and we can build. My connection this afternoon is not so strong, so just bear with me. Okay, so once you click on, so let me close up this. So if you already put up your domain name and hosting account, so you have your cPanel details. So you log in by doing this cPanel, right? You come to this place. It might redirect you to another stuff, but you get something like this. So once you get to your cPanel, the next thing you want to do is put in your username. So I have them already. I have them here already. So you put in your username and you put in your password. Once you do that, you log in. You now have what you call your cPanel. So your cPanel is your control panel. So with your control panel, there are quite a lot of things you can do on your website. So you could see your IP address. You could see the last login, where you logged in last from. You could see what disk space you have and your usage. You could see your for your MySQL, your PostgreSQL. You can also see your bandwidth. So the question is, what's the difference between your disk space and your bandwidth? So your disk space is how much size you have, how much file size you could upload, whereas your bandwidth is how much traffic can you allow at a time measured per month, right? So there are several bandwidth calculator, right? So if you want to ask, if you ask yourself that you want to know how much bandwidth do you need for a particular type of website you are building. So one of the things you should be checking is what is the size of my website, then how much persons are coming into the website. That will determine how much bandwidth you need. So there are different calculators you have online. You just need to put the size of your website, average size of a page, then you put in how much traffic you're expecting. It's going to tell you how much website bandwidth that you need. It's normally measured in gigabits. Okay, if I want to calculate here, hosting, okay. So let's say I have 10,000 page views, 10,000. The difference between page views and visitors, website visitors, page views and website visitors. So website visitors is how many persons visit your website. They can be 100. Page views is how many pages did they load. So you can have 100 persons. If each person visits your website 2 times, or rather loads 2 pages, that means you have 200 page views. So you are checking page views, not website visitors. So if I have 10,000 page views and the average size of my page is 500, of course, this is just a factor. I could calculate and know how much bandwidth I should be getting. So see, I need 152 gigabits per month. That's why I see some people, they just set up a website, do Facebook advert or LinkedIn advert, and the website is down. It tells them something like bandwidth exceeded. So your bandwidth exceeded message will come like this. Bandwidth exceeded. It's just a message that your hosting provider automatically places. Is on the server already. So once you reach that limit, you are being served. So if they serve you that, nothing is actually wrong with your website. It's just that you purchased less than you should have. And I think it's one of those 500 errors. So you have a 501 error, 502 error, 503 error, just like you have 404 errors. So, so you have something like this. So once you have this, there's nothing to be afraid about. if you pay for the next package, if you upgrade your hosting account, that same moment your website will be up and running. Or since bandwidth is calculated per month, you could wait till the first of the next month, which is very funny. Nobody will do that. And your website will be up and running. Okay. That's about bandwidth, and that's about file size. So if you check your cPanel, you see you have different sections. You have email section, you have billing and support, you have file section, you have database section, you have domain name section. You have metrics for visitors if you want to see your visitors or your bandwidth usage. For instance, you're starting a website. I don't advise people to just go get a very large size. You could start with something small, and you can always monitor this, right? Then you have security. That's where you have SSL. Then you have software. So if you need to install software, so this is where you do it. Okay. So first thing first. So we have duli-limited.com. So the first thing we want to learn how to do, I'm just going to touch on the most important aspect, is that we want to learn how to create an official email. So the kind of email we want to create is something like info@duli-limited.com. So I just click on email account. Once it opens, I'll put in the email. I'll put in the password. I'll set the size. How much size do I want the email to receive? Then I will create the email. Okay, I think there's already info@duli-limited.com. So let me create something like security, since we are trying to learn some basics of security. So security@duli-limited. I'll put a password I could generate, right? I'll copy this. I'll copy it in my clipboard. You see, edit settings. So I just want 10 MB, because this is a very small email I want to create so that I could do alerts on my website, so that if there's any security issue, I can make that get to this particular email. Okay, so once I'm done with that, I've put the email. Once I put the email, so once you have this, so you don't need to put the full image, just only this part. This is already there automatically. So you say you copy this. So you put the size, then you create. Once you create that, you've officially created that email. So you see it among the list of emails, security, right? If I want to create another one, say, let's say something like contact. I want to use this, edit settings, let's just say 20 MB. So the thing about this MB is that, don't forget, this hosting size is 1 gig. So you need to apportion your entire space for both your email and your website files. So this is 250 MB, that is the main email. This is 20 MB, this is 10 MB. So for now, I have 250, 20, 10, that's 280 MB, call it 300, for instance. So you have 700 MB left for your website. Are you there? So we've created the email. So the question is, how do we, so this is the cPanel, which is this. So how do we access our emails? So we go to the website domain name /webmail, then security@duli-limited.com. Then we'll put the password. I'm going to change this password later on, so that you don't come and be checking my emails. Okay, so we just head to this guy to access this email, right? So I'm going to send an email to, on my mobile now, I'm going to send an email. So this email. So I'm sending an email to security at dooley-limited.com. So I'm typing on my mobile now, security at dooley-limited.com. The subject is test email. Compose is testing class. So I've sent the email already. So the question now is, let's go to this email and get it. So the email is security at, so this is it. So this is the password. I'm going to change it, so don't even bother trying to access this later on. So login is successfully. Then once it's done with this, the next thing it's going to do is to present me one or two applications depending that I can use to access this email. Of course, we're going to see the email I just sent a while ago. So you used to have about 2-3 softwares you could use to view emails before now. But I think cPanel have made it, have trimmed most of those softwares. I think we just have Roundcube now. So, which I have always loved because it's more cleaner, neater compared to the other softwares they had before. So I could click on this and say, okay, yes, they used to have HUD. Then of course it's Roundcube. So I could change to HUD, but by default it's Roundcube. I think we configured that on the server. So open my inbox when I log in. So if I tap this button, it then means that next time when I go to dooley-limited.com/webmail and I put my email and password, automatically it will load my inbox for me. So I could just open now. So let's see if we're going to see the email I just sent now. So, and it works like every other mail. So there's nothing so special about it. It works like every other mail that you have, like your Gmail, your Yahoo Mail, your Hotmail, and the rest. So the only difference is that you get it free when you have a domain name, right? Okay. So this is just the test email. This is just the test email. Okay, I'm just sending now. I'll refresh this in a while. Once it's sent. So while that is happening, I'll come back to this place again. So you now see that to create an email is a very straightforward thing. You log into your cPanel. Once you're logged into your cPanel, you go to the email section. You come here, then you see the list of the emails already. Then of course you click on create. So this is your cPanel once you log in. You go to email account. Sorry, not track delivery. Yes, so that email has come in. So look at the email, test email. I could as well reply. I could just tap on this button, reply. I could create a new email. I think it's somewhere here. Yes, look at it here. Create a new email. Just like this to check all my inbox, my draft, my sent, my junk, my trash, my archive. This for me to set the name somebody's going to see anytime he sends me an email and the rest. So let me try and compose a new email. So see the email here. So if you want to send an official mail, so everybody that uses cPanel in the webmail, This is the exact same way the person is going to see the email. Test email delivery. So hello world. So that's just it. If I want to put any attachment, I do that and I just send. Once I send, and of course, I'm going to receive it in my email. So this works like every other email client that you have, whether it's Outlook, whether it's your regular Gmail, your whatever. So this works perfect and this works fine. So that's about emails. So if you need to have an official email, you get a cPanel account first or a hosting account first. You go to email section and you create an email. Another thing that is important here, you could explore any of all of this, like Boostrap when you want people to confirm your email before it gets delivered to you, or Forwarder where you want a situation whereby all of all of the emails that you have here, you want it to hit your regular Gmail or Yahoo Mail or whatever. You just need to come to Forwarder, add the particular email of interest, and put any other email you want it to forward content to. I just need to say add forwarder. I just need to say security at Leaders Limited. Then I say I want to forward it to this, right? That's all. So I'll add forwarder. What will happen is that anytime somebody sends an email to this guy, though I will get it within this place, it also sends a copy to this place. Okay, I think that's that for email. We're able to accomplish this task. I've done the preview of the last class, introduction to cPanel, purchase of domain name, hosting, domain name hosting, setup of email. One of the next thing we want to do is that we want to upload the site that we've created, the Bootstrap site we've created. Okay, then before we now talk about SSL. So that's that about this section. Another thing here, you can always look it up. So for anything that has to do with uploads, we do that within the file section. This for databases, this for domains. I'll talk about this later on. So let's say domain is the main domain, that is leaderslimited.com. Add-on domain name is where you want to use one hosting account to host more than one site. Subdomain name is where you want to have something like blog.leaderslimited.com. So let's go ahead and create one. So we're done with this. So this works fine. So if I want to have something like test.leaderslimited.com, I just need to hit create. Okay, before we create it, let us see if there's anything like that. Of course, there's nothing. Leaders. Nothing like that. So we'll go to test. So if you try this stuff, nothing is going to show. So it's not available. So, but we can create it now so that we can build something. Okay. So we could build something. Something is wrong. Okay, document root. Okay, we select www, which is normally the default root. So we create, once we create, we see that we now have a subdomain name, test.leaderslimited.com created. So if I refresh this would be like a room inside my main house. We could give it some minutes for DNS propagation. So there's what we call DNS propagation. For domain name systems, which is on port 53, at times it can take between few minutes to 24 hours for a domain name to fully propagate. At times it's instant. So before the end of the class, we can come back here and refresh to make sure it's up and running. Okay, that's that for subdomain name. So I could build something different here. I could have blog dot, I could have test dot, I could have several subdomain names. I'll go back to my hosting account. The next thing I want to do is to come to File Manager and have something like upload the Bootstrap website we created on class, something like this. Now, it doesn't know anything like this. There's nothing like this. I want to create a folder called class, or call it corporate, right? Let's say I want to put a corporate site here. Then upload my Bootstrap site here. So that next time I can also decide to create a folder called blog and install a blog here and build my website that way. So I just want to use one domain name to attend to one or two things. So the first thing I want to go to File Manager. So that's where you can see like the file structure of your website. So this is what it looks like. So you see, this is not found because we've not created it. So but let us go ahead. You see it as a www folder. So but most Linux hosting systems we have your main root directory as www. You have your public.html. So I'll tap on this. So I'll create a folder. So you could create a file, you could create a folder, you could upload your website, whatever way you want it, right? But I think what I'm going to do, instead of creating this folder called corporate, I'm going to go to my website. This is my site, right? That is this site. See the way it is, my site. I'll rename it corporate, right? So for you to upload something on your cPanel, especially if it has so many files, you have to zip it. But if it's one file, you could decide to upload it one after the other. So since it's so many files, I could zip everything. So I have it as corporate, it's 5 MB. I need to go to this place. Sorry, I need to come to this place and say upload. So it will give me a kind of a little dialog box. I'll click on it. So there are other ways to upload files to your file server or your hosting account. You could use FileZilla. You could use any files software. Okay, look at it, corporate, right? So I'll allow it to upload. Once it's done uploading, I make sure it turns green. If it doesn't turn green, that means that it's not done yet. So I make sure it's 100%. It turns from blue to green. Once that is done, I cannot go back. I cannot try to access the website. I will see that this folder has been created. Okay, before here, let me try this. See if I have that file uploaded. Good. Okay, it has not shown yet. It's not turned blue yet or green yet. It is 100%. Let me refresh. Good. So it's there. So yes, that's turned green, right? So I could go back. So if I click on this, that site is will download completely. So what I want to do is I want to extract. So you could upload, you could copy, you could move. Typically, basic file system folder management, you could do it here. So I could just extract, right? Within same folder, which is my public www folder, I extract the files. By the time I'm done extracting, to just present this result, I will close. So you see, I have corporate. So that means that my website / corporate, everything here will load. So if I refresh, I'll still have that third folder. if I click on this place, it's going to be dolidaslimited.com/corporate, right? Of course, that's my website I built locally. I've successfully migrated our website online, right? So that's a very simple way for you to build a Bootstrap website locally, beautify it, make it very nice, then upload the website online. So I could show somebody my portfolio. For instance, if my name is maxwellconsult.com, if that's what I bought. So I could have maxwellconsult.com/corporate, maxwellconsult.com/blog, maxwellconsult.com/e-commerce. I could build quite a lot of things and have them as my portfolio. So somebody says, design a website for me. I create that and I just send 4 or 5 links. Of course, that shows that I'm serious. So I think that's all. So it's a very straightforward, simple process. So everything I have, they're all there. The question is, if I need to make changes while my website has been uploaded, can I do that? Yes, you can. So look at all your files. I go up, right? So you could, you could delete this at the end of the day if you want to. So if you click on corporate, you see that index. So let me assume I want to change this my email, right? This is the index I was making changes to. I just edit or HTML editor, any of them. So I could update live on the cPanel. Once I do that, any changes I make becomes live instantly, right? No time lag between when you made your changes and of course when you have it up and running. So I just look for that guy. Okay, this is it here. So this is the email. So contact@southtechventures.com. I replicate it because this is a mail tag. So it's expected that and I save my changes. Once that happens and I refresh, automatically this email will adapt, will change to what I just updated. So your changes are instant and they are live. Okay, that's how to create a Bootstrap site and upload it. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is SSL implementation, Cloudflare Let's Encrypt. So they are paid SSL. So you have different types of SSL. So you have what you call wildcard. Then you have what is called positive SSL, and so many others. So depending on the value of the sites you're protecting. So for something free, you could go for a positive SSL or a Let's Encrypt SSL. For a wildcard is going to protect all of the subdomain names associated with a website. So let's say you have blog.dolidasLimited.com, you have e-commerce.dolidasLimited. All of the subdomain name is going to protect everything. I think we have something like that for our software, for our app. So we have this southtechapps.com. So something like hedgebull.southtechapps.com. This is a software by another company. So you have that. You see the SSL implemented. Something like so each of the subdomain names that we have for this core banking application, they are all having that SSL. So his wildcard is about $100. So, but your normal positive SSL that will protect just the main domain name, it's between $10 to like $15. Then you have some others that are like $70-something, and of course some quite a little bit more costly. So for this, we want to see how can we use Cloudflare.com. So you could use Cloudflare to protect your website against DDoS, distributed denial of service. You could use it as a CDN, as a content delivery network. So instead of traffic to go to your hosting service straight on, so it goes to a CDN, a content delivery network. Most of the time they have a load balancer down before it gets to your network. So some of the things that a service like this provides for you is CDN, DNS, DDoS protection, bot management. So you see some of these guys that will scan your website and you think you have traffic, but you don't have traffic, right? So they will help you ward off most of those kind of bad traffic. Same thing with DDoS, then load balancing, so that you could, if you have, you could have your application replicated into 2-3 different places, so that once you have traffic, something is in between your traffic and your application to balance those loads and make sure that you don't have downtime. Of course, rate limiting, WAF, web application firewall. So this is the network version of the web version of your normal regular network or PC firewall. So you have it for PCs also. Sucuri, like I mentioned earlier on, provides WAF services also. If you have an API, they could help you protect it. So they have a free service. What I would do is that I would drop a step-by-step tutorial on implementing Cloudflare or Let's Encrypt encryption on your website, so that at the end of the day, you have a green padlock here. So that will be the end of this first series, and I'll see you in this other series. Thank you very much.